We already know that high levels of cholesterol and triglycerides leads to increased risk of atherosclerosis. Atherosclerosis is the formation of plaque in your arteries which can narrow or even block them. What is more important to note is that not all cholesterol is bad. Cholesterol and triglycerides in our blood is packaged into lipoproteins and transported around different parts of our body wherever it is required. Cholesterol is an integral part of our hormones, cell wall and vitamins, while triglycerides is the energy provider. The lipid panel test routinely done in a laboratory includes total cholesterol, LDL, HDL, VLDL and triglycerides. Of these, depending on particle size, VLDL and LDL can deposit in the endothelium, the innermost lining of our blood vessels, and cause inflammation. This brings our body's defense mechanism into action. A cascade of immunological events gives rise to the start of the atherosclerotic plaque. HDL moves through your body looking for these stray particles of cholesterol, captures them and at the same time reduces the inflammation in the endothelium. Therefore, HDL is also known as our good cholesterol. We have learned from a previous video on this channel linked up here, I button there at the corner, that high levels of cholesterol and triglycerides and endothelial damage are a primary result of poor lifestyle choices. Abnormal blood lipid levels almost always go hand in glove with elevated blood pressure and blood sugar levels. In fact, insulin has an important role in the shuttling of triglycerides out of the bloodstream after absorption in the gut. We often see that persons with high levels of insulin resistance to have high triglyceride levels as well. Let's not delve too much on it for now, as on this channel we like to keep it simple. It is, however, important that we enumerate these issues and address them as well while we are working on reducing the risk of heart disease due to high levels of cholesterol and triglycerides. High levels of bad cholesterol and triglycerides can also be a result of faulty inherited genes such as in familial hypercholesterolemia and familial hypertriglyceridemia. However, the methods we should be using to control their levels remain the same. Our multi-pronged approach is going to target all aspects to control your blood lipid levels, including what you should be eating, lifestyle choices you should make, some advanced strategies you could use, and something which might surprisingly help you. A word of caution though, the primary weapon against abnormal blood lipid levels will always be statins. So do work with your doctor in conjunction with this strategy, at least until you regain some control over your health. We needed a little bit of the lengthy intro to keep ourselves in context. Do keep this in mind for later, as we are going to use a multi-pronged approach to reduce your risk of heart disease. Coming up, 5 tips to reduce your risk of heart disease due to high cholesterol and of course triglycerides. First, we go in with the cliched strategy of reducing dietary cholesterol intake. Cliched because it is debatable, but then I wouldn't want you to risk your life on a debate. So until there is definitive proof, here goes. Cholesterol de facto is synthesized in every nucleated cell of our body, including the liver. Eventually, through your circulation, they end up in your liver to be packaged and repackaged. The process of synthesizing cholesterol is an energy-intensive process. Therefore, your body prefers using dietary cholesterol. So first, we would like to reduce our intake of dietary cholesterol, which is found in saturated fat. Saturated fats increase your LDL cholesterol. They are found in red meats and cooking oils. Triglycerides in the meanwhile is absorbed from the gut and also shuttled along with the cholesterol. Breakdown products of triglycerides contain long-chain fatty acids such as stearic acid and palmitic acid, which are cytotoxic and damage your endothelium. To compound this issue, cooking oils such as palm oils and coconut oils are rich in both palmitate and stearate. This further increases the endothelial damage. Another type of fat we have to be mindful of, although an unsaturated fat, is trans fat. It is well known that the consumption of trans fat increases the risk of cardiovascular disease. Trans fats are found in red meat and dairy in limited quantity, but are widely used in the processed food industry. So to summarize this first tip, reduce cooking oil to a minimum. Stop consuming red meats and processed foods. Say no, especially to palm and coconut oils. PUFA and MUFA. I love saying that. PUFA and MUFA are polyunsaturated fatty acids and monosaturated fatty acids which reduce triglycerides and reduce the risk of cardiovascular disease. Replace the saturated fats we previously mentioned with MUFA and PUFA. PUFAs in particular help in increasing your good cholesterol, that is the HDL. PUFAs are mainly your omega-3 and 6 fatty acids. Omega-3s can be found in marine sources such as fish, and omega-6 is found in nuts and seeds. MUFAs are found in nuts, olive oil and avocados. We know until now that bad lipids are seldom the lone abnormality. it is often accompanied with obesity, high blood pressure and insulin resistance. So it is essential that we create a caloric deficit to shed some excess body weight. Eat less and move more. We have to bear in mind that fat, whether saturated or unsaturated, are high in calories. Reducing our saturated fat and replacing it MUFA and PUFA is important. However, we also have to be careful as fats are caloric dense and it can be very easy to overconsume calories from unsaturated fats. It may be here that a supplement benefits you. Consider supplementing with PUFAs and MUFAs so as to help achieve a negative caloric balance. Also increase your intake of fibrous vegetables to compensate the reduction in calories from reduced saturated fat. Exercise will also help you creating a caloric deficit. Not only that, exercise also helps you in increasing your levels of good cholesterol HDL. Might as well address the elephant in the room here. Stop smoking. Smoking, besides increasing your cardiovascular risk independently, reduces your HDL and elevates your triglycerides. This might have you a little bit confused until now, but worry not. I've got a cheat sheet for you at the end of this video. It is important that you understand that there is a method to the madness. Yes, intermittent fasting. I am not one who likes diets with names. A diet is part of an individual's lifestyle and is unique to everybody. But sometimes we need to move from build a lifestyle mode to save a life mode. Intermittent fasting protocols eating during an 8-hour period and fasting for 16 hours. Might sound daunting, but it is quite easy with a little practice if you consider that 8 of these hours you will be fasting while you are sleeping. We know that the bulk of the circulating triglycerides come from the food you have ingested. If you are insulin resistant, it might take a longer time for the cellular uptake of these circulating triglycerides. So by fasting for a period of time, you are giving yourself a better chance of clearing these circulating triglycerides. Intermittent fasting will also help you with your caloric deficit, provided you do not overconsume in your feeding period. If you find intermittent fasting difficult at first, start the 12-hour fast. This shouldn't be hard as it will probably just mean an early dinner or a late breakfast. I promised you one bonus tip, didn't I? Moderate amounts of alcohol consumption is known to increase your good cholesterol HDL and therefore is cardioprotective. The caveat here though is that if you do not drink, please do not start now. Also do not tell anyone that you heard it from Dr. Rohan Fonseca. I am leaving you the cheat sheet here. Also check all the videos around here, especially the one on lifestyle change. I'll be seeing you in the next one. Signing out, Dr. Rohan Fonseca.